of the Second World War, so its original air support role was abandoned, but the Lysander, or Lizzie, as she was affectionately known, went on to carve that all-important niche in clandestine operations, dropping the agents or Joes into enemy territory.
As MRD Foote said, if the Lysander hadn't have existed, it would have been invented specifically for SOE.
Into enemy territory on roughly prepared airstrips was absolutely ideal.
Only 15 to 20 hours, so he was well below the First of all, Bugle was used by Alex Henshaw to set the record for London to Cape Town and back.
Yeah, the Comet's powered by two 230 horsepower Gypsy 6 engines, giving it a top speed of around about 238, 240 miles an hour, something like that.
Miles Hawksby 6 just delights the eye. It's a total racing machine. It wasn't particularly successful. It placed it and it crawled over the machine. It improved an existing design and it became the DeSuter, or the DeSuter Aircraft Company of Croydon. To be used as an air taxi. But we'll come back to that because I think we're going to stick with the air racers. The de Havilland Comet was offered for sale at a bargain price, and within record time it was designed, built, tested and flew in 9 months. If you asked anybody to produce an aircraft in that period of time now, they would laugh at you.
5 were produced for the McRobertson air race. This is the only surviving example. There isn't one under construction or restoration, I think, at the moment.
It's a wonderful gentleman called Ken Fern up in Derby, and he is rebuilding a Comet which we hope will fly here one of these days.
That would be something, wouldn't it, to see 2 Comets together. That sense of adventure, didn't we? The 30s, pre-war, were that golden age of air racing, and although they still have air races around the world today, there isn't that sort of pioneering spirit that there seemed to be pre-war.
I think it's like Formula One. The teams are so organised now, and it's so competitive, and a lot of it is so similar as well. Unique formation. That's another aspect of the displays that you see here at Old Warden, and which ones you use.
Technicians of British Aerospace and took it to the skies again in 1987 and made its first display appearance here at Old Warden. Although it couldn't be based here for a long time, it took an extension of the runway in 1999 for it to be possible to operate from the field. At the time that it won the McRobinson Air Race, London to Australia, back in the 30s, it completed the race in 70 hours and 54 minutes.
And these were produced using a system called the Ratier system in France. The Ratier factory is still going. They're still producing propeller systems.
Races, the Bugle, the Hawk 6 and the Comet.
And coming in now, the Bugle. That was a very nice landing, guys.
Okay, we're turning the clock back now to the First World War, the Great War, the war to end all wars. Decorated pilots who flew the C-5 to great effect. And there is a misty mural painting of both Albert Ball and Mick Mannock flying in formation in an SE5. And I don't know if in real life they ever flew together, I wouldn't think they did. It adorns the wall of the waiting room of my dentist in France. Why? I've no idea.
Neither have I. Paul died on the very close to his birthday, early May 1917. Mannock, of course, died in July 1918. But Mannock was a late starter, whereas Ball was famous when he died.
I did ask my dentist. Well, I say I asked him.
And just joining the SE5A is a pilot favourite. This is the Sopwith Pup. The Pup got its name when
land on the decks of ships, carrier operations.
Yes, it had an extra bit of control. Also, by next stage, it was obsolete for frontline service.
They take to the skies, wobbling about in the wind, and thought that it looked like a rather drunken flight of steps in the sky.
Well, it was an amazing aroma.
You can be quite poetic at times, can't you? The burnt castor oil across the newly mown grass.
It's entirely accidental.
No rotary engine up front.
Now what you'll notice is he has decided to use a different runway. And we have a policy here that priority is given to safety and landing the aircraft into wind whenever possible. And that's exactly what the pilot has done to ensure that the aircraft is safe.
Look at that.
Something very new for us. You don't often see this runway used. And our grateful thanks to Stu Goldsmith.
Hence the name Bird Dog.
The employee's name was Mr. Swayze.
It was, but not Patrick.
I don't know.
No, it
It's unlikely, probably his dad actually.
Yeah, granddad probably.
Korean or Vietnamese sighted one of these aircraft as bad news because it meant that
too much to do in the cockpit, but this was quite a departure for a training aircraft. They were challenged very early on in their training cycle.
I'm hoping it's out of the way.
Same aircraft have lost the Gladiator with the Hurricane and the Spitfire. Faith, Hope and Charity. In fact, there were more aircraft than that. It's just that they weren't all airworthy at the same time.
Yes, there were 6, and they were held in reserve for the HMS Eagle aircraft carrier.
And despite being obsolete when those other 2 aircraft went into frontline service, the Gladiator tonight holding its own.
Oh, very much so, yes, pride of place. A lot of Gladiator pilots really didn't like the idea of going on to flying monoplanes, and at the same time there was a pilot prejudice against the Gladiator itself at the time, particularly the enclosed cockpit. The Gauntlet, which was its predecessor, was very popular. And the idea of having an enclosed cockpit really didn't sell well with the RF pilots at first. But the Gladiator was strong and manoeuvrable.
Pilots did say that the hardest thing about flying the Gladiator was actually closing the cockpit. Mark III Merlin engine developing 1185 horsepower and power steering.
The Merlin and the Hurricane that you're listening to is a very early Merlin. It's the Mark III, and it was only 1030 horsepower. The pilots have told us that at ground level, which is display level, it's probably only pushing out about 850 horsepower. So it's much more effective at higher altitude. And our machine first flew on the 18th.
I would say without a doubt the most evocative sight sound in aviation history is this.
When Alex Henshaw decided to write his memoirs, he called the book Sigh for a Merlin. You can see why, hear why. several years ago. One of those went out to join Peter Jackson's collection out in New Zealand, and I went out and saw it there. Beautiful, beautiful aircraft. It flies very nicely. It was designed for the pilot. You'll notice the gap between the lower wing and the fuselage, and that's to improve the pilot's field of view. Range down at Hythe, and its first flight was with the Red Baron. 6 of them flew against the service, and only 2 of them got back and finished. She is much handier.
Restoration between 1980 and 1982. At that stage been with the collection.
You won't get much closer to an aircraft.
Wonderful whiff of Carter was just wafted over the control tower as well.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? Lovely.
Yeah, the 504, very popular as an export variant as well. Global operators. The Russian team had a float plane, an example of the 504. The Japanese were equipping their expanding navy with the aircraft, no doubt with an eye on preparing for the conflict to come 1939 onwards. It was slow, it was stable, a good weapons platform, cruised at around 80 miles an hour, stalled at about 40, and had a 4-hour cruising range. Could go up to about 10,000 feet. One forward-facing 303 Lewis over-wing machine gun, plus under-wing hard points. And the aircraft
start of the war, it was very much thought that it would be a primary German weapon. In fact, it was never used. But precautions were necessary right from the off. Right in front of us.